conversation turned into this weird thing of like people that were being called up there for some sort of weird who knows what.
Dustin Diamond got his start through a stroke of luck in the entertainment industry. He auditioned for the popular TV show Saved by the Bell and landed the role of Screech in 1988. He would go on to remain a cast member of the show for 13 years, a remarkable run for any young actor. After his time on Saved by the Bell came to an end, Dustin Diamond struggled to find consistent work in Hollywood and turned to stand-up comedy to stay in the spotlight. He would joke on stage about how the other cast members were seen as the cool ones, referencing characters like Zach and Slater, while he was always the odd one out. He also pursued other projects along the way, appearing in various films and TV productions, including Made, American Pie, and the reality series Celebrity Fit Club. But by 2006, Diamond found himself in serious financial trouble. Desperate for money, he released an adult tape that quickly circulated online. Despite the tape being directly tied to his public identity, Diamond publicly claimed he was not the person featured in it, a denial that few people believed and that only added more controversy to his already complicated public image.
This is the thing that I'm most embarrassed about. My buddy was at my house, and the rumor, I think, that had been put on TV was that Paris Hilton had made $14 million off this sex tape. And my buddy said, 14 million, holy smokes, where's a Screech sex tape? You got to be worth at least $1 million. And I thought, yeah, maybe. And that's as simple as it was. And in my stupidity, I thought, I could totally fake this. I could get a stunt person to take my place. It's my face, but nothing else. Looking back now, in my 30s, I realized that was really, I definitely got some money off of it, but it wasn't worth what the fallout was. I mean, people to this day, they look down on me. There's a lot of people who look, oh, that's, how disgusting of you, and I didn't really do it.
But then, in 2009, Dustin Diamond decided to break his silence. He released a tell-all memoir titled Behind the Bell, which pulled back the curtain on what allegedly went on behind the scenes of Saved by the Bell. The book made waves almost immediately. Among his most explosive claims, Diamond alleged that Mark Paul Gosselaar and Tiffany Thiessen, the actors who played Zach Morris and Kelly Kapowski, were involved in a sexual relationship with the show's director. The accusations were shocking to fans who had grown up watching the cast as wholesome teenage characters, and the book stirred up significant controversy within the entertainment world.
Certain things that were just not used at all. There were certain things that were throwaways. I think one of the biggest was that, like I had mentioned, that Mark Paul got called up to the office a lot. They spent a lot of time up there. And it was more of like a, there was more planning. I mean, this came off the tail end of talking of, because we didn't talk for long and it was on different days. So coming off the last conversation, which had been a couple days before, which was, I believe, about us being sent out to different countries, and they sent Mark, Paul, and Tiffany out, and I was originally supposed to go out, and I didn't get sent out, so I was kind of bummed because I wanted to see, Europe and France and, all that kind of stuff. And they got sent out there, and they were called up to Peter's office a lot, which the second conversation turned into this weird sexual thing of like people that were being called up there for some sort of weird who knows what, which is not where I was going with my conversation at all. But like I said in my Oprah piece, I thought I was going to get a piece of the book to proofread and go over and cross any T's and dot any I's and correct any mistakes, put things in a certain timeline. I mean, people online were giving me flack in the book about certain paragraphs being duplicated, which has publishing responsibility all over it. I don't print the books. Right. And so it was this really massive fallout. And I was just so shocked to sit back and read this book and think, wow, this is supposed to be my story is coming from me. And I'll tell you this, the biggest part of this is that I wanted to write a book about all the crazy things that have happened in my life.
The memoir didn't just create controversy, it had real consequences for Dustin Diamond personally. Following the backlash from its release, his former Saved by the Bell castmates began publicly distancing themselves from him. Relationships that had been built over more than a decade on set quickly turned cold. Under growing pressure, Diamond made his way onto public television, where he was put in the uncomfortable position of walking back his own words. He admitted that the book had actually been written by a ghostwriter, essentially suggesting that the more sensational claims in the memoir were either exaggerated or did not accurately reflect his own account of events. It was a stunning reversal that raised serious questions about how much of the book he had truly stood behind in the first place.
Movie that was loosely based on a book that a ghostwriter wrote.
You didn't write the book.
No, a ghostwriter wrote it.
What did your apology to your castmates sound like? I mean, I'm just, as an outsider, curious about that. How did the conversation go?
Oddly enough, it's doing interviews like this and getting the word out there. This is my best weapon for repairing the damage that was caused by things that were done by people who took advantage of me in the situation I was in at the time.
So if they're watching right now, which some of them are, you know, I was Mario last week. I suspect he might watch.
Right.
What would you tell them? Say it to them.
I will say, guys, I think you're fantastic. Working with you has been just one of the icons of my life. And I'm sorry that this has taken advantage of me, the book and other situations I'm sure we'll talk about here. But I'm sure that you've experienced downfalls as well in your time. And I'm still loving you guys.
But never close. I'll say that much. And they'll say we weren't close because people say, well, you worked with the guy for 5 years. He was 3 years younger than us.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you remember how it was in school, if you were a senior and you hung out with a freshman,
Right.
come on, man. You were like, what are you doing?
Right.
I never had any animosity towards him. And then his book comes out and all this other stuff comes out. All that stuff. I was like, Dustin, oh, come on, man. That stuff is not true. And you're creating this stuff in your head.
But after the release of Dustin Diamond's book, his problems would start to ensue. In 2014, Dustin Diamond would be arrested for getting involved in a bar fight.
For much of the sentencing hearing today, Dustin Diamond sat with his head down and his eyes closed. His fiancée, Amanda Schutz, seemed to be more attentive to what was being said. Their case stemmed from a Christmas stabbing at the patio bar. Surveillance video helped tell what happened. In the end, Diamond was convicted of disorderly conduct and disorderly conduct with a weapon. Schutz to disorderly conduct. He appealed to the judge, saying this will never happen again. Diamond must report back here on Sunday night to start serving a 120-day jail sentence. He can get out in the daytime for work purposes, but he will have to sleep at the jail every night. In addition, he will owe about $2,500 in court costs and restitution. Part of that.
Shortly after his legal troubles and the ongoing fallout from years of public controversy, Dustin Diamond's story was about to take its most heartbreaking turn yet. On February 1st, 2021, Dustin Diamond passed away. He had been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer just weeks before his death, leaving fans and former castmates in shock. He was only 44 years old.
Dustin Diamond has lost his battle to cancer. The actor was best known for his role as Screech in the 90s sitcom. According to his representative, Diamond died this morning after a 3-week fight with stage 4 lung cancer, but says he did not suffer. Diamond was hospitalized last month in Florida, and shortly after, his team revealed his cancer diagnosis.
Yeah, well, he died of cancer. That hurt. With Dustin gone, we still carried it on. In the name of Saved Bell, Peter Engel, all of the writers and producers, and Dustin. So we all got to celebrate him.
To Screech.
Oh, Screech. I'm glad we got that on footage. Because he matters. Yeah.
We did like Lark. She was a really good person, and she left a voicemail for him, and we played it for him before he died, and he enjoyed it.
That was my very good friend.
The last time I saw him, I think, was in 2018.
Okay.
We were at a Comic-Con, or maybe it was a little bit later than that, but it was pretty much right before his death, and we had a booth right next to each other, and you just strike up a conversation as if we'd been buddies all along.
So what do you think? Did Dustin Diamond go too far by exposing the secrets behind one of television's most beloved shows? Or was the backlash he faced simply too much for one person to bear? Was he a man speaking his truth? Or did he cross a line that cost him everything? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.